Hello and welcome to the lesson. We are going to be reviewing the iReady Grade 4 Mathematics packet, pages 3 through 6. We are covering place value, comparing numbers, and rounding. Hopefully this will be a review for you, so we'll try to move through it kind of quickly. If we jump down to page 3, at the first couple problems we have, we're looking at numbers. We have a place value chart. We need to fill in that place value chart. The first one, 78,215. So we would have our 10,000s. We have 7 of those. 8,000s, 200s, 110, and 5 ones. So we could fill that in you can go from the biggest to the smallest, or the smallest to the biggest. It's up to you. Next, they're asking us to write the same number in expanded form. So we did a little bit of this before break, so you should be somewhat familiar with it, but just remember, in expanded form, we are writing out each portion of the number according to how much that value is. So 70,000 is 70,000, and then we'll add 8,000s, 200s, 110, and 5 ones. You can go ahead and do that with 400 or 540,000. This is a little bit of a variation on that now. Different ways of writing numbers. Our first one, 25,302. We have 2 10,000s, 5,000s, 300s, 2 ones, but they don't give us all of those place values. So in this case, we could write that as 25,000s. We have 300s, no 10s in this case, and we have 2 ones. Jumping down to the next line, how many hundreds do we have? Well, we actually have, again, they're not giving us the thousands place value, but if we look at our number, we have 253 hundreds. Again, there are no 10s, but there are 2 ones. And if we think about how many ones we have, well, we have 25,302 ones. If we were looking at representing that with individual numbers, that's how many total ones we would have. Okay, then you would do the next one with the same thing with the next number, 708,496. Go ahead and try that on your own. And the same with the next one. Then for number 6, they're asking you to come up with different ways of writing it. And you can look at the other examples. One way you could do it is to say that you have 841,000 plus 62 tens. 841,000 is fairly straightforward, but 620, you can think of that if you had 62 tens, that would be equal to 620. So that's one way that you could write that number. And I think you can come up with at least 2 other ones. Next one, they're asking you to evaluate whether or not this has been written correctly in standard form. So, or I'm sorry, not standard form, but expanded form, whether these are, why do both of these show the same number? If you look at it, we have 27,974. They've broken that down into expanded form. 20,000 plus 70,000 plus 900 plus 70 plus 4. And they've also written it another way, 27,000. Just like our other examples, this is the same as writing 27,000, 97 tens, just like the example we just did. 97 tens would be the same as 970, and then 4 ones. So go ahead and take a look at that. Try and explain that in your own words as best you can. Moving on, greater than, less than, or equal to. You should be able to, this really should be review. The key to this is that they will, a lot of times numbers will be written so that they can try to trick you a little bit and throw you off. So you have to pay attention to each place value. The first one's fairly straightforward. If you have 23,000, you're going to look at the highest place value first. You have 23,000, that's going to be more than 2,000. So in that case, 23,230 is much greater than 2,332. The next one is one of those examples where they are trying to throw you off a little bit. Both numbers have 33,000, and where they're just switching up the final place value. Here we have the 3 and the 1s. Here the 3s and the 10s. So 10s are greater than 1s. So 33,030 is going, or 33,003 is going to be less than 33,030. Again, take a look at the other ones. I think you should probably be able to do most of those on your own. If you have any trouble, you can feel free to reach out to me or your homeroom teacher. They'll be able to help you. The next set of numbers, we're just looking at which numbers are, for 7 and 8, which numbers are less than the number they give you, and for 9, which number is greater than the number they gave you. So in each case, you're going to start with the highest place value. So we have our highest place value is 7 10,000, 70,000. We have any numbers that are less than 70,000, then clearly those are going to be less than this number. We don't, so we would move on to our next place value, our thousands, 8. If we have any numbers that have 7,000s and less than 8,000s, that's going to be one that we would select. In this case, we do have 7 in the 10,000s place, but 0 in the thousands place. So that's going to be one that is less than 78,265. That would be one that we would choose. And go ahead and take a look at the rest of them. Again, I think you should be able to do these. So give those a try on your own. Number 10, they're asking you to explain in your own words how you solve problem 7. This you'll see a lot of. They're going to ask you to try and explain your reasoning. Just do the best you can. Try to explain what you're thinking, how you can tell which numbers are greater than 78,000 and 265 and which numbers are not. So it's important for you to be able to work on explaining your own thinking on those. Moving on to page 6, we are rounding numbers. And the key here is to look at the place value that you're rounding to. In our first set, we're rounding to the nearest 10. So in each one, we're going to want to see where the 10 is. And I thought I had a highlight option here, but I don't see it. So, but that's okay. So we're looking at the tens place. So we have 7s in a tens place. Now the rule with rounding is we look to the number to the immediate right. So in this case, it's the 1s. So if that number is 5 or greater, we're going to round up. If it's 4 or less, we're going to round down. So 72, we're just going to round to 70. The next one, again, we're looking at just the tens place. So we have a 7 in the tens place, and we're looking to the right of that, and it's a 2. That's 4 or less, so we're going to round down. So we would have 170. Go ahead and take a look at, I think you should be able to do 3 and 4 on your own. The next set of numbers, we're rounding to the nearest hundred place. So look at each number, look where the 100 is. Our first one, we have 100, we look immediately to the right, we have an 8 in the tens place. So that's greater than 5, so we're going to round 180 up to 200. Okay, go ahead and take a look at the rest of those in that set, and I think you can do those. The same with the thousands. You should have a handle on it now. We're looking at the thousands place. So in this case, we have a 7 in the thousands place. So we're going to be looking to the number immediate to the right in the hundreds. That's a 7. That's 5 or greater. So we're going to round up. Let me put a comma in there. So after you round, everything to the right of the place value that you're rounding to is going to be zeros. You notice in each case, I only have, after my place value, everything else is going to be zeros. If we take a look at number 12, so we have a 7 in the thousands place. We're rounding to the nearest thousand. We have a 1 in the 10,000s place. We're just going to leave that alone. So looking at our number, 7 in the thousands, 7 in the hundreds, that's greater than 5. So we're going to round up to the next 1,000. Again, I'm going to go ahead and put my comma in. I'm not sure how I make that go away. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. So I've rounded to the nearest 1,000, and I left my 10,000 alone, and everything after that is zeros. Let's go ahead and take a look at, I think you can do 13 and 14. You should be able to, and try to do the next set, rounding to the nearest 10,000 on your place. Finally, for 19, they're asking you to take the number 307,451 and round that to the nearest 1,000 place, the nearest 100, and the nearest 10. Go ahead and try that to your own. Again, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me or your homeroom teacher, and I appreciate you coming to the lesson.